welcome to another rousing episode of the Pinfall Podcast. I am your host, Liz. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Marcus. And I've got my glasses on for some fucking reason.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well on this fine impact evening. Today is kind of the start of gearing up for Slammiversary. We had a qualifier match, we had a gauntlet, kind of a Royal Rumble style gauntlet to determine who will be facing Josh Alexander at Slammiversary. And that one person is Eric Young, leader of Violent by Design.
Yes.
Kind of wonder why they opted to go for him and not Jay White. Like, it feels weird.
But is that for Slammiversary or is that for...
Yes, that is, they said whoever wins the gauntlet will face Josh Alexander at Slammiversary.
That is weird. I will not deny such things.
Yeah. And, I mean, maybe Jay White is planned for Bound for Glory, but that implies that Jay is sticking around after Slammiversary. I don't know.
Unless he's... I mean, the only time the Jay White would really be useful in Japan at this point is for July.
True.
Which is when the G1 is starting, so.
Well, no, there's Dominion too.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's going to have any, like, new feuds. I think it's just going to be rehashes of old feuds plus...
Jay White's fighting Okada at Dominion.
Oh, yeah,
He's
is,
probably
isn't
winning.
he? Well, there's nothing leading up to that, really. Because Super Junior is just junior heavyweights.
Unless he makes, like, appearances.
I don't think he will. Based on what I've seen so far, like, as far as lineups are concerned, I don't think he will.
I mean, he might not have a match, but he could, like, swing by, cause some shit.
Swing by.
But there's also Eddie Edwards, who has yet to have a feud with Josh. Maybe he's bound for glory. The two biggest are Eddie and Jay. But it does make sense that Eric Young is thrown into the mix because it's all faction leaders. Start with Eric Young, then maybe Eddie Edwards, and then Jay White. Are there any other factions that Josh would have to fight?
I mean, Decay technically is a faction.
Yeah, I don't think Josh and Crazy Steve is gonna be a barn burner.
Black Taurus is right there.
He's not the leader.
I guess he's not the leader, yeah.
If anything, it's Rosemary that's the leader.
Yeah, you're right. Josh versus Rosemary. Done.
That would actually be a really sick match.
That would be.
There's no other factions, right? That's it?
That's all I can think of.
Yeah. Unless they really want to get some crossovers going, bring Evil over.
Stop.
Don't
speak that into the universe.
I would love... Oh, you know what they should do? Continue the New Japan crossover. Speaking of getting faction heads, so have United Empire come over and he faces Will Ospreay.
Okay.
Josh versus Ospreay would be a sick match. That's like that's match of the year right there.
I'd love to not see Will Ospreay, but that would be a good match.
Yeah. But in a situation like that, like, how do you pick who's winning?
You don't.
It has to be like the same Mox and an Osprey match, like a fluke. You can't have a solid victor. But we also had Mia Yim make her Impact TV return by being announced as the entrant into the Queen of the Mountain match at Slammiversary. First of its kind. I don't know what a Queen of the Mountain or King of the Mountain match is. But apparently it's been around in Impact for a while.
Yeah.
And that match will be Tasha Steelz, Chelsea Green, Jordan Grace, Deonna Purrazzo, and Mia Yim. No, I could not predict that match for the life of me. That would be like we would have to wait till day before to predict that.
Yeah.
Let's see. We also had Kenny King versus Chris Bay as a qualifier for the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary. We had the Knockouts tag team titles on the line between Influence and Giselle Shaw and Alicia Edwards. Let's see, what else did we have? Bullet Club, Jay White and LP versus Ishii and Josh Alexander. And then it looks like at Slammiversary we might be getting Briscoes versus Violent by Design, unless that's next week. I think he said that's next week.
It has to be next week, because unless it's Diener and Doring, which would make sense because Diener could take the fall.
Yeah. I'm still annoyed by how they did Under Siege and how it was Diener and Young and not Doring and Young, even though Doring was the one holding the title.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It's like, if you're in a faction, those titles can just, like, swap hands, like...
Yeah.
Alternate. But yeah, it looks like tag titles will be on the line maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks. I'm not really sure. And then go out for the gold, which was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was super hard to keep track of everything, though.
Yeah, and it did seem like at some points, like, you know how in Royal Rumble, there are moments where, like, people are kind of stalling for time while somebody does a spot in the ring?
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like there were some points where there weren't any spots happening and everyone was kind of just ducking for time. Like, I remember one specific moment, everyone was just kind of in their corners or against the ropes, just like pushing or resting, and no one was in the middle of the ring actually doing anything.
Yeah, there were several moments like that.
But still a very fun episode. A much more eventful episode than normal with Impact, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to jump into the news?
Yeah, stay tuned through the news because I've got a fucking good joke. Like a really good joke.
Why don't you say it now?
Because I want to get through the news first. Also, I didn't realize this until I had a meeting earlier today. I look so tired. Like, my eye bags are just... You could carry shit in them.
We need, like, an ice roller company to sponsor us.
I literally have an ice roller.
We have a couple, I think.
That's the problem.
We have a couple.
We only have one.
I gotta start using that because I'm getting those into my eyes too.
We have jade rollers, but we don't have... We've got one ice roller.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the jade rollers.
Different vibes. All right, let me grab this old phone over here. And try not to get blood on the sheets because I picked at my finger a little too much.
Vibes.
Elizabeth. First piece of news is that currently the Yankees are winning 6-4.
Okay.
Second piece of news is that Frankie Kazarian is set for a return to Impact, apparently.
Ooh, I hope
Yeah.
it's not to face Josh.
I don't know what his vibe is actually.
I want Josh to fight Impact wrestlers, not outsiders like he has been doing.
Apparently his vibe currently is that he is going to be taking on Chris Sabin
Ooh, okay.
at the tapings, I think tomorrow. I think there are tapings tomorrow that are going to.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's I forget the name of the event that it's gonna be called. But yeah.
Citrus Brawl.
It's something like that, yeah.
Um,
That's gonna be cool.
um, Also in news that makes me really happy and also brings like a little warmth to my heart is that the other day Jim Ross said that Jake the Snake is in bad health. Apparently Jake the Snake came back and said, "Hey guys," actually his direct quote was, "Hey guys, once again, someone wants to make a splash on the internet, and what better way is there than putting out Jake Roberts is in bad health? Totally untrue. I'm going to be around a long time."
Even though that somebody was just Jim Ross.
Still,
His literal
I don't know.
coworker.
I feel like it's because like my father is always like, "I'm going to be around until like you're old," and I'm like, okay. I like that Jake the Snake is like, "I'm not leaving. I'm here forever, bitch."
Oh,
Um.
glad he's at least
Also,
okay though.
yeah, I hope that he's not just kind of bullshitting it for the sake of
Making everyone feel good.
appearances, but yeah, but I'm gonna believe that he's fine because I'm not in the mood to pretend that he's not. Um. Also, in some weird news, this is not like the most organized news section that I've got in the world. But in some weird news, apparently a UK wrestling death match is being investigated by the police. According to WrestleTalk, Colliery Championship Wrestling (CCW) held a death match that wasn't actually advertised for the show, and they had initially offered discounted family tickets. A lot of weapons were used, and apparently, according to BBC News, one match in particular escalated with weapons that were being used without the promoter's prior knowledge.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, I guess it kind of like went out of control, and that is insane to me. All right, so let's look at some more news by going into my bookmarks. Young Rock was renewed for a third season by NBC, which just goes to further push me to wanting to watch it because it seems kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It does seem like a pretty good show.
Yeah. Also, in some other WWE news, NXT is apparently going to resume touring soon. According to a lot of sources, including Dave Meltzer, it looks like they're going to return to touring in June. So that'll be fun.
I got a little piece of news for you.
About
WWE and NXT UK.
Oh, could I possibly already have that piece of news?
Is it about a match from today?
It might be. I'll let you take it. But my next piece of news is just that apparently Dakota Kai may have announced her new ring name as King Coda because her new Twitter handle is I'm King Coda, which could be really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as NXT UK goes, you can definitely fill us in.
So today, on today's episode of NXT UK, and if you don't want to hear this and you want to watch the episode yourself, mute the stream or the video. This won't really work for audio listeners. But I'm just gonna say it. Just spoilers ahead. Do whatever you have to do. So Ilya Dragunov faced Jordan Devlin for the NXT UK Championship, with the extra stipulation that loser leaves NXT UK. Now, Ilya Dragunov retained, and I watched the end of the match, and it looked killer. Like I gotta go back and watch that episode because that looked like a hell of a match. And now Jordan Devlin is out of NXT UK. However, does that mean he's making his way over to NXT 2.0 or the main roster?
He would.
Somebody like Piper Niven, now Dewdrop, skipped over NXT and made her way right over to main roster, so it's entirely possible. Or he could be like Kaylee Ray and go to NXT 2.0. Same with Pretty Deadly. I have a feeling with the way NXT is being run right now, he'll be over at NXT 2.0 for trial period. Before the main roster. And I don't know how I feel about that because he doesn't seem like he would really fit on 2.0.
He doesn't. Well, okay, my question right now is Nathan Frazier sticking around?
I don't think so. Well,
okay, so if he doesn't stick around, I'm going to cackle because his literal last lines were, okay, bye.
He had an interview that kind of sparked a feud with Zion Quinn.
No, he had an interview that was calling out somebody, and that somebody got into a feud with Zion Quinn because that person, whoever it was, I don't remember who it was, came in.
Wesley.
Okay, yeah, Wesley came in, Zion Quinn came in, and Nathan Frazier straight up said, okay, bye, and fucked off.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if that was his last lines, I'm gonna fucking lose it. That was hilarious.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like people don't get sent back to NXT UK much anymore because it's like,
A-Kid.
Huh? Oh,
A-Kid.
Yeah, he did. I feel like though there's more of a release mentality now where it's like if you're not ready for the main roster, like if you can't cut it, you're just gonna get cut. There's no wasting time and no decade-long career in NXT.
Well, as Malcolm Bivens said, if you want to be forgotten about, just go to NXT UK.
Yeah, he's got a point.
That was a fucking hilarious bit if you didn't see that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we gotta watch this week's NXT UK.
We gotta watch a lot of weeks NXT UKs, honestly.
I watched last week.
I didn't.
It was fine. You didn't miss much.
My final piece of news is just that apparently, and this could be kayfabe, this could be not be the way that it's been reported upon by multiple sources. It doesn't seem like it is, but also the person that's about, it could be. MJF is apparently leaning towards not re-signing with AEW. And that could be total bullshit because it is MJF and there's no line between kayfabe and reality with MJF whatsoever.
But I feel like somebody like MJF would bring the real world into kayfabe, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's why I'm not like saying like this is definitely happening because like you really can't be sure. My God, I'm so fucking hot right now.
Like he would, like that would be real, and then he would use it to like fuel kayfabe, which he mentioned during the contract signing. But if Tony Khan doesn't shell out more for guys like MJF, that's not a good sign.
No, that's a bad sign.
If they prioritize these vets, these big names over their own rising stars like MJF, Wardlow, Page, like they're gonna be in bad shape. They're just gonna be like,
yeah.
I don't. They can't. Somebody like MJF, somebody like Page and Wardlow, they're worth so much more, honestly, than like Moxley or like Danielson, because they have so many more years ahead of them than these vets. The investment is so much higher and so much more worth it for these young guys.
Yep. Nope. You're not. You're preaching to the choir here. I would be genuinely like impressed if they like lost MJF.
Yeah.
Like I would be genuinely like blown away.
Yeah. MJF, who gave probably one of the best like storylines ever in all of pro wrestling with CM Punk. I guess we'll see though. I guess we'll see in the coming years like where they kind of sway, where Tony Khan sways, whether it's towards prioritizing, you know, AEW originals or the vets, the big names, the Samoa Joes, the Bryan Danielsons.
Yeah.
Punks. Punk can only take you so far. Same with Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Again, you're preaching to the choir here. Well, that's all the news I got.
Okay. All right.
You wanna
talk about today's. Oh, your joke.
You wanna hear a joke?
Sure.
So if anyone wants to hear a joke, turn your volume up real loud right about now.
Don't, because Liz is gonna be cackling into the mic once she tells a joke, and it'll
fucking joke for you.
Break your headphones or your speakers.
Oh, God bless. It's gonna be a good one too. Okay. Let me just center myself a little bit. Let me get myself in the zone.
Yep.
Why was it so easy for the cops to figure out who stole the cheetah?
Why?
Because he had prints all over him.
God damn it. God damn it. Can't believe I laughed at that.
Oh man, I told you it was a good one. I told you it was. Oh, God bless. We're kicking off this show with a bang. A bang.
All right, so you want to talk about today's episode?
Yeah, let's talk about today's episode.
So, we started off with Matt Raywald and Tom Hannafin in the ring, giving the announcement for the Gauntlet of Gold, which is a Royal Rumble style match, where the winner will face Josh Alexander at Slammiversary. But then Honor No More comes out, and we start our opening contest: Kenny King versus Chris Bay, a qualifying match for the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary.
Yeehaw, cowpokes. We've got the Yankee game on, so I probably should. There we go. All right. We start with an arm drag to Bay, and then we get an arm drag to King. And it was frenetic, as the kids would say. Bay goes to dive on King, but King bops out of the ring. Bay then dives onto King, actually, and poses for a little bit. Then we get some double knees to Bay, and a power slam to Bay, and then a leg drop onto King, or a leg drop from King. Then we get a bit of a drop on the neck on Kenny, but no pin. Kenny hits the chin checker to Bay, and then a tiger driver, but still no pin. He slams Bay down, but he's holding onto the rope, and the referee's like, hey, that's not fair. You can't do that. So it doesn't count. Then a DDT to King lands, but there's no pin. Bay goes for the art of finesse, but King blocks. We get a sliced bread to King. He goes up top. Bay goes up top. But Maria distracts. He goes for the superplex, but Bay beats him down. He gets enziguri, though, and King hits the royal flush to win.
Yeah, it was a very fun match. It was like, if was that the first win Kenny King's gotten in a while? I feel like he's always been the loser of Honor No More.
Yeah, he has been a bit of a jobber for them.
Yeah. So Kenny King will be going to Slammiversary, competing in the Ultimate X match, which
Fucked up, but fair enough.
yeah. But so far it's Kenny King and Ace Austin in an Ultimate X match. It'd be cool to see how King will fare in that. That'd be really awesome. So then it was announced that Giselle Shaw and Alicia versus The Influence was next, and we cut backstage to Alicia knocking on Giselle's door, yelling at her to hurry up, and Giselle's just like, "Why are you rushing me?" And then they go off for the match. I gotta say, I don't know how old Giselle Shaw. Oh, she's 33. Give her a few more years, she's gonna be insanely good. I feel like, personally. I know she's not like a young up and comer, but given more time on TV, I feel like she'll really grow into herself because she's already like a standout wrestler on Impact, in the Knockouts division.
I don't have the same opinion, but fair enough. I keep doing this fucking thing. I think it's, you know what it is?
You have a hole in your mouth.
No, it's because the canker sore on the inside of my lip. Yeah. This little baddie. I keep drinking something and then it like slips out the side of my mouth, and I think it's because I'm just like, I don't want this touching my teeth. Anyways, I'm pretty.
You want to talk about the match?
Yeah. I feel like I didn't. Oh, maybe it's because we weren't around. I don't feel like we saw Shaw and Frost ever team up.
We weren't around for it.
Okay.
It did happen, but we didn't watch the episode or the pay-per-view that it happened at.
Okay. We start with Alicia versus Madison Rain, and then it just kind of turns into everyone fighting everyone. Alicia takes everybody on after a certain point. We get a reverse neck breaker. I know I wrote a reverse. Oh boy, I love saying words all at once. We get a neck breaker off the ropes to Alicia, and then we get Rain, who cuts down Alicia, hits an unsuccessful pin into an attempted arm sub, but Alicia won't allow it. She gets her arm slammed, though, into the ground. Finally, Alicia tags out. Shaw gets in, takes on the ladies. We get a kick to the back of the head of Rain, and then a draping DDT to Madison. Alicia tags back in on Giselle's head, which I thought was really funny. Because it was like Giselle's just sitting there, and Alicia's just trying her best to tag him, but Giselle's not really working for it. So he just kind of taps her on the fucking head. We get a flatliner to Rain, but Tenille breaks it up. Tenille then attacks Alicia from behind. Rain takes out Shaw, and they hit the collab to win.
Best wrestling finisher in the world.
Yeah, that's the word.
With the killer name, the collab. But it was a decent match. It wasn't too bad. Let's see what was next. We had a promo from Violent by Design. Now, I want to be transparent with everyone. I couldn't take very good notes on this because Eric Young, very fast and chaotic talker. I could not take the best notes. So he says, stories are how we're remembered. Sometimes there's a question mark at the end of a sentence. Violent by design. Next week, Briscoes are going to find out how our story goes. We take it all. We take back our tag team titles, power, and control. And tonight, Gauntlet for the Gold. I take my power in control. I take my spot at the top. Power. Control. Slammiversary. We take it all. And we become the owners of the power and control because this world belongs to us. I think they need a fourth member. They should get a fourth member just for the sake of it. Book, give me someone from either AEW or New Japan. Can you not hear me?
No,
Oh,
me.
you're pointing your ear. I was like, you saying you can't.
No, this is me pointing at me.
Yeah, you want to be the fourth
I'm
member?
the next member.
Yeah, after what Rhino went through.
Yeah, I could take it. I'm not a puss.
Whoa, okay. But book someone from AEW or New Japan, or even WWE, I guess, to be the fourth member. I kind of, maybe. I think kind of Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy could do it.
Remember Gacy's gimmick before he was what he is now? Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know a ton of people that are. Bring back Jake something and let him and Dean or team back up.
He's doing fine.
He's not, but yeah.
Von Wagner. Put Von Wagner in here.
Von Wagner.
It's Violent by Design's world and you're living in it.
God. Why did Von have to open his goddamn mouth?
Violet by Design. Oh, fuck. Alright, so then we had Gail Kim come out, and she says, in less than 6 weeks, it's Slammiversary. This year, Impact will be celebrating 20 years. Knockouts have been such a huge part of the division. This year will be no different. I will announce our first Queen of the Mountain match. The King of the Mountain has always been a staple, so it is my honor to announce the 5 wrestlers in the match. Tasha Steelz, Chelsea Green, Jordynne Grace, Deonna Purrazzo, and Tasha Steelz comes out. And she says, wow. And also, the crowd was fucking heckling the shit out of her. Like, a couple loud-ass people in the crowd. I remember one person says, you don't deserve it. And then the whole crowd started yelling at the guy. One person shouted up immediately after that guy said, you don't deserve it. And he said, yes, she does.
God.
At least from the show we went to, Tasha Steelz gets a lot of shit. For no reason.
She does get a lot of shit. Well, she's a good heel. That's the problem.
She is. But there's like, I guess Cameron Grimes isn't a heel because he gets booed just because of bad creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't get go away heat. She gets I love you too much heat. She said, wow, a Queen of the Mountain match. I didn't want to believe it before, but you'll do anything to take my Knockouts title. Why is that? Because I beat the last of your generation, not once but twice. You're about to introduce the 5th person before I so rudely interrupted. You don't have to because I'll announce her. Savannah Evans. Gail says, I do appreciate your suggestion, but all the competitors are former Knockouts champs. And champ, your 5th competitor is Mia Yim. And Tasha starts freaking out. She says, are you kidding? You let someone come off the street, cut the line, and get a shot? I believe it's personal. If you want to get personal, we can get personal. Mia Yim comes out. A whole brawl ensues. Deonna comes out and starts beating up on Mia Yim. Taya Valkyrie and Jordynne Grace come out to help as well. Now, here's the thing. Taya's helping. But she's not in the match.
Yeah.
Is Taya gonna have a separate match at Slammiversary? Maybe the Reina de Reinas title?
Maybe.
I could see them do Taya versus Ty Connie. Now that Taya's gotten more involved in AAA.
Yeah.
could see that happening. I don't really know who else, because I don't really know many women in AAA. But that would be a cool matchup.
That would be.
All right, so then we get an interview with Rich Swann. He says this is a huge opportunity. I know these don't come every day. We all want the same thing I do. They all want to main event Slammiversary. I know it's not going to be easy. People want to be champs so bad. Matt Cardona carries around a digital media title. And then kind of shitting on the Impact, though, by saying that, like, your title doesn't mean shit. The fake title.
Well,
Unless he's talking about Cardona's internet championship from GCW.
yeah, that's what he means. Oh. I mean, he's talking about the internet championship.
Yeah. What was the last time that thing was defended?
Pre-rebellion.
Oh, it was against that one guy. The ECW guy. I forget his name.
Oh yeah, that was right before rebellion. Mama Luke.
Oh yeah, Mama Luke. So now we have Jay White and Elle Phantasmo versus Tomohiro Ishii and Josh Alexander.
Yeah, let's talk about a fucking match that was hard to follow.
Backbreaks galore.
Yes. So, oh my god, my text is so big, but it's like also not fitting in my window. All right, so we start with LP versus Josh because Jay says that he wants no part of that. Jay ends up getting in. Ishii gets in. And, you know, it's a match that Jay knows, a match that Jay knows well. Sends a boot to Ishii's face. It means absolutely fucking nothing. We get a shoulder tackle to Jay, and then a little reversal into LP, who comes in, sending him into Josh, and then a shoulder tackle to LP from Ishii. Then we get a DDT to Ishii from Jay and a backbreak to Ishii from LP, and then one to Ishii from Jay, and then Ishii tries to choke LP, and then we get a backbreak from Jay and another one from both LP and Jay. Once Josh gets in, he hits a German suplex to LP and then another one and goes for another one. But LP hits the back elbow before the third can be accomplished. We get an ankle lock on Phantasmo. Jay breaks up, though. He goes for the Blade Runner on Josh, but gets hit with a C4 spike. Then we get a crossbody to Josh and Tiger Salt onto Josh, or Lion Salt, not Tiger Salt. Got my Jungle Cats mixed up. Josh grabs Phantasmo, takes Jay off the apron as he holds Ishii. We get LP driven into the ground in the basement lariat from Ishii. Ishii then ends up hitting the sheer vertical drop brainbuster to win on LP.
Yes, and I feel like they're, even with this match, they're teasing Jay White versus Josh.
That's what I was thinking before you kind of, I mean, I asked you to, but you spoiled the gauntlet for me.
Yeah. Because I read the results. I didn't read them in detail like I did with the last set of tapings, but I knew Eric Young was going to win that. But unless they make it a triple threat, I feel like just Eric Young versus Josh isn't a big enough booking in and of itself. Are you frozen? No, Liz is frozen. Oh. Well. Guess we just wait. But I'll just finish my thought. Josh versus Eric Young isn't as big of a booking in and of itself to warrant the 20th anniversary of Slammiversary. Messaging at all? Okay, there we go. There she is. Now she's gone. Okay. There you go. I don't know what happened.
You were mid-sentence, you just stopped, and I was like... Okay.
You were just frozen, like looking up like this.
I'm just trying to figure out what the baseball score was.
But as I was saying, Eric Young and Josh isn't like a big booking in and of itself to warrant the main event of a 20th anniversary Slammiversary. Like that's big. I feel like you make it a triple threat with Jay White. That ups the scale a little bit.
Yeah.
Make it a fatal four-way with Eddie Edwards, and suddenly Josh has no more challengers after Slammiversary. They gotta do something. Maybe Eric Young versus Josh, like death match or something. That's a Slammiversary. Well, Sammy and Kenny was at Slammiversary, and that was like a death match. Maybe they'll do that again.
That could happen.
But up next we have a promo from the Briscoes. You say, and new, just like we told y'all, Impact Tag Team Champs. These aren't just run-of-the-mill titles. Greatest tag teams ever held these. VBD want a rematch. Big Joe Doring, think we're scared. You should be scared of us. These titles aren't going anywhere. Alright, and finally, the main event, the Gauntlet for the Gold. 20 men in this match. And my god, was it chaotic.
Yeah, in case you were wondering, I took horrible notes.
The best part was Johnny Swinger.
Yeah.
As always. With
yeah, so we start with Sabin versus Shelley, which, you kind of should have seen it coming because they did do a Sabin versus Shelley Impact 60, which I was like, love that match. One of my favorite matches, actually. It's very rapid fire. Nothing real really happens prior to the countdown. Eddie comes out. Sabin and Shelley go to work on Eddie. There's some headbutts and chops to both men. We get a DDT to Eddie from Shelley and a dropkick from Sabin. We get a boot to Shelley and then a boot to Sabin. Then Vincent comes out and Vincent versus Shelley, and we get Eddie versus Sabin. We get a side Russian leg sweep to Shelley and a drop elbow to Shelley from Vincent. Shelley then sends Eddie into Vincent, and Sabin dropkicks Eddie. Then we get some tag team maneuvers to Vincent from Motor City Machine Guns. Then Macklin comes out. We get a backbreaker to Sabin and another to Shelley, and then Eddie squares up with Vincent at his side. We get some crosshairs to Shelley, who's against Sabin. Eddie then slams Shelley down, and Vincent cannonballs onto him. Then Shark Boy comes out. Which is weird because I feel like I was just hearing about Shark Boy the other day, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's because I told you that at the tapings, Shark Boy was teaming up with, I think, W. Morrissey. Who's at the tapings.
Gotcha. Well, Shark Boy takes on everyone. We get a chomper to Macklin, and then Shark Boy gets attacked by the Honor No More boys, and then Shark Boy avoid Eddie, sending Vincent into him. Motor City Machine Guns then attack the Honor No More folks. We get a double chomper to Eddie and Vincent. And then we go to commercial. We come back. Raj Singh, is that his name?
Yeah.
Raj Singh is in the ring. Trey Miguel is in the ring, I think.
In the ring, yeah.
Didn't get a walkout, which I thought was very weird.
Yeah.
And then Bhupinder comes out because, I could not a Bhupinder. It's very crowded at this point. Bhupinder eliminates Raj. Shera comes out right after that. Morrissey then comes out. He eliminates Vincent. He eliminates Shera. Eric Young then comes out. He hits Morrissey with his mask and then a pile driver. Bhupinder stupidly attacks Eric Young. Eric eliminates Gujar. Shark Boy at this point is gone as well. Then Swinger comes out. Swinger is immediately eliminated. We go to a commercial break. We come back. It's Heath and Rhino and Eric and Macklin and Moose and Black Taurus and Sabin and technically Morrissey, but we didn't see Morrissey at this time. Who the fuck?
What?
Oh, I think Black Taurus was eliminated by Moose, and then Rhino was eliminated by Moose. Then Heath tries to eliminate Moose, but struggles. Moose eliminates Heath. Rich Swann comes out. We get a dropkick to Moose from Swann and a cutter. And then guess who's fucking next in line? fucking Raywalt. They cheese Cardona, but Raywalt comes in. He eliminates Swann. He goes for Sabin. Then PCO comes out. He attacks Macklin. At this point, it's Macklin, Young, Sabin, Raywalt. I think Morrissey is still technically there. And so is Moose. Raywalt attacks PCO. PCO loads Raywalt out. Morrissey then comes up. PCO was about up to his fucking titties. They just kind of start chopping the shit out of each other. It's kind of funny because I always think of PCO as a very big guy, and then putting him next to Morrissey, I'm like, oh, that's just some man.
Yeah.
Moose appears. He takes on, or I think, I don't know how this fell apart, but I know it was Moose, Young, Macklin, and Sabin after a point because Morrissey and PCO got eliminated.
Yeah, I think it was Moose clothesline both of them.
Okay. And then the lights go out. And who appears but Sami Callihan, which for once in my life I was like, Sammy! Look at you, buddy!
Yeah. His feud against Moose is going to be so good. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Sammy gets Moose eliminated. Sabin takes out both Eric Young takes on both Eric Young and Macklin. We get a DDT to Young off of Macklin. Macklin and Sabin attack each other. Sabin eliminates Sabin eliminates Macklin. And then we get Eric Young versus Sabin, and like everybody's fucking jazzed because I think everyone really wanted Sabin to win. But we get an elbow drop to Sabin, and it's no pin because at this point it's pin or submission. It's not an elimination. And then a clothesline by Young to Sabin. Then we get a DDT to Young from Sabin. No pin. He wants the cradle shock, but Young tries to go for the pile driver. When he gets it, that is when he wins. And that is your episode of Impact for the evening.
Yeah. Great episode. Great fun. A lot of fun. You want to talk about the best of the night?
I'll talk about the best of the night. And then I'll look at my news sign and just say, what the fuck?
So before we get to the best of the night, if you have a question for us, leave it in the chat now, and we'll answer it after the best of the night. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. We'll get to it in the next one. If you're listening on Spotify, join us at twitch.tv/pinfall podcast to chat with us live. And now finally, before we get to the best of the night, let me give a quick update. I feel like it's been a while, but I know it hasn't been. On the top 10 wrestlers in pro wrestling in kayfabe. It's based on wins, losses, titles, all that shit. So, number 10. This is across all promotions. Every single one, even non-televised ones. Number 10. I think he's the Super Asia champ. Balian Aki from Chaka Pro. Number 9. From New Japan Pro Wrestling. Great Okan was the tag champ. Number 8. The undisputed Universal Champion. Roman Reigns. Number 7. Not the SmackDown Women's Champion anymore. Charlotte Flair. Number 6. From Dragon Gate. Yuki Yoshioka. Number 5. King of Pro Wrestling champ from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Shingo Takagi. Number 4, the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Ricochet. Didn't expect Ricochet to be fucking number 4.
That's really shocking, actually.
Out of like thousands of wrestlers. Number 3 from Dragon Gate, Dragon Dia. Number 2, also from Dragon Gate, Kota Minoura. And number 1 from Dragon Gate, Kaito Ishida. Dragon Gate's kind of fallen apart with their lead a little bit. They had the top 4, but a lot of champs there lost their titles recently.
Gotcha.
All right, so Best of the night. Promo of the night. We giving it to VBD's Spasms or Gail Kim?
Gail Kim. Always Gail Kim.
All right, Gail Kim. Gail Kim announcing Queen of the Mountain. All right, Wrestler of the Night. 3 options. Ready? Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Eric Young, Chris Bay, and Kenny King.
I'm always partial to Chris Bay.
We'll go with Chris Bay.
Okay.
We'll go with the good old Bay. All right, and now let's talk about match of the night. As always, we go from the worst match to the best match of the night. We'll talk about which match is the match of the night. So, worst match of the night, the 5 out of 10. Giselle Shaw and Alicia Edwards versus Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rain. The Influence. The Influence doesn't do it for me, like really at all. Except the collab. Fuck with the collab. Love the collab.
I don't fuck with the collab. But I'm glad you do.
But Giselle and Alicia individually are great wrestlers, especially Alicia. I want to see more Alicia. Next up, 6 out of 10, Elle Phantasmo and Jay White versus Tomohiro Ishii and Josh Alexander. Fun match. Pretty fun. A little bit heelish with all the back rakes and all that. And distractions, shit like that. Very Bullet Clubby match. Next, 6 out of 10, Chris Bay versus Kenny King. Had it not been for the several distractions at the end, would have been a very, very great match. But it was still fun. Still a pretty fun match. And finally, my match of the night, because I love these matches so much, 7 out of 10, Gauntlet for the Gold. I love Rumbles. I fucking love that shit. I love countdowns. I love top rope eliminations. So much fun. It's never been a bad one. Probably has, but well, yeah. It's past Royal Rumble, the Women's Rumble, and the Men's
Rumble too. Yeah.
I don't even remember what happened at the Men's Rumble. Who won it?
Brock came in, jobbed out everyone, and said "fuck you."
Oh yeah. No. Oh, Shane McMahon too. That whole mix.
That was the only good part. Was the fucking background story of Shane? No, the only good part was the background story of Shane McMahon saying, "I'm not going out because it's not my time," but like it was his time. And Brady said, "I'm not fucking going out to that." So
you say the only good part, like Bad Bunny didn't show up.
Did Bad Bunny? Oh yeah, but he also got jobbed out basically.
Because he's a celebrity. Didn't he also eliminate somebody?
I don't know. I
know he teamed.
I blocked the Royal Rumble out from my mind.
I think he had some teamwork with Rey Mysterio. But yeah, I thought this Gauntlet for the Gold, as chaotic as it was, as messy as it was, I can't help but love matches like this.
I agree. I can't disagree with that.
All right. Let me see if there are any questions for us. Otherwise,
while you look, I want everyone to know that we started this game at like 1 to fucking who fucking knows, like 1 to 4 or something, I think. Well, when we started this game, it was like, no, like it was like 4 to 6. It is now 7 to 7. So I'm about this close to fucking jumping into traffic. I just want everyone to understand that. It's fine. It's fine.
Do you think that maybe you have an unhealthy obsession with team pride?
No.
Okay.
I don't feel that way.
All right, well, you want to close out the show?
I'll close out the show. If you tuned in tonight, thank you so much. And if you tune in the future, pray that the Yankees fucking win this game. And if they lose, I'll know who didn't do it. I know who didn't play along. So keep your eye out. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Please tune in on next Tuesday, because we will be talking about... What? We won't be talking about shit. We will be doing our WWE 2K22 stream where we will be talking. That's about it. We won't be talking about anything.
Yes, because we won't be doing a weekend show because we will be at New Japan Strong Collision in Philly and all those tapings. So you watch Collision, look out for us.
And if you want to celebrate something, just know that somebody on this podcast has a birthday coming up. I won't say who.
Me. Me, I claimed it.
It's Mark.
I claimed it. It's my birthday now.
Yep. It's Mark's birthday. That's
yes. Yes. Happy birthday to me.
Yep, you're old again.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. Thank you all for watching. Follow and subscribe. All of our stuff is the Pinfault Podcast. Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Twitch. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Elaine23, and it's also her birthday coming up soon, so everyone wish her a happy birthday.
Not yet, though. It's not my birthday because I'm not a goddamn
happy birthday
Taurus.
Now. Use it all now.
I'm not a Taurus.
Use it all now.
I'm not a Taurus.
Use
I'm
it.
not a Taurus.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Elizabeth. Oh, no. All right. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.